Hey everybody, today is Thursday, January 30th, and this week's video is about why you should not hire your family member, Uncle Bob, whoever, to do your home inspection. Today we're going to talk about 3 reasons why you should not hire a family member to do your home inspection. Reason number 1, when the inspector, a professional, licensed, insured, certified home inspector does your inspection, they're going to, at the end, give you a great report, okay? They're going to go detail by detail through the house. Some of the things that they look at, structure, roofing, heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, appliances, and much more. It's not limited to those items, but they're going to go through each of those things. They test the appliances, they test the furnace. If it's not the winter, they'll test the AC. They'll check the roof to see if there's any issues with the roof. They get up in the attic and look in the rafters to see if there's any sign of leakage there. They'll explore the foundation of the house and the structure to make sure that there's no sign of cracking or leaks, and if there is, how bad it is. Sometimes it's not bad. So when they're done with this, they put this all into a report, and they'll take pictures of it. So if they find something that is, might be an issue, or they recommend deferred maintenance on, they're going to take a picture of it. They're going to put it in a report. Okay. And part of what they're going to do too is provide you maintenance advice. So let's say they find that the furnace is 20 years old. Okay, it still works fine, but it's towards the end of its life. They're going to put in the report deferred maintenance. One of the things I like to call the inspection report from a certified home inspector is the honey-do list. This is the list of things that you will probably at some point in time want to take care of while you're living in the house, depending on how long you live in the house, okay? Now, there's another big reason why you want a certified home inspector to do your inspection. If there are issues, if Uncle Bob finds that there's a leak in the roof or that there's an issue with the furnace, okay? We're gonna wanna negotiate some kind of credit, potentially, with the seller, right? Now, what evidence do we have to back that up? Okay, I don't have any pictures. Maybe Uncle Bob took some pictures on his iPhone, but is Uncle Bob certified? To know what those issues are? And in some circumstances, maybe you have a family member that's an HVAC expert. Great. If he's an HVAC expert, feel free to have your uncle look at the HVAC system and make recommendations. No issue with that. Maybe you have a roofer in the family. They can do the roof inspection. If you have a family member that can do specific inspections, fine, that's great. Especially if they're certified, that's very helpful. But to inspect an entire house, okay, we want someone who does this every day, who's been through hundreds of houses and has inspected hundreds of houses. And if I have to go to a real estate agent and negotiate on your behalf, a repair or a credit, most of the time they're going to ask, well, who did the inspection? Can I see portions of the report? Well, if I say, yeah, my client's uncle Bob did it. Now, he is HVAC certified, but I don't know about the rest. Okay, if you're asking about plumbing or electrical or something like that, chances are they're going to say, you know what, I don't really trust Uncle Bob. Uncle Bob isn't a licensed electrician or isn't a certified home inspector, and so yeah, we'll look at the HVAC stuff, but we're probably not going to do anything about the electrical or the plumbing. All right, so it behooves you to have a private inspector do an inspection so that you can get a full comprehensive report, that if there are issues, for one, just so you can be absolutely certain that the house that you're buying is, what you're getting. Okay, you're purchasing a used item. For the most part, you wanna know everything about that house. And now inspectors aren't perfect. Sometimes they make mistakes, but certified home inspectors make a lot less mistakes than Uncle Bob might. Okay, So I need to be able to go to the listing agent and negotiate on your behalf with trusted information, and I need to be able to point out and show them, hey, this is exactly what the issue is. Now, sometimes they want more. Sometimes it's not good enough, and we have to get more, and that's that's fine. That's different. But for the most part, if you've got a reputable home inspector, we could take that report. We can negotiate on your behalf. We can do something with that. We can't do that with Uncle Bob's, what he thinks. All right. So number 2, different types of inspections. So obviously you have your private home inspection, which is of the house. Okay. If the house is on well and septic, you'll need a separate well and septic inspection. Sometimes the private inspector who does the home inspection can also do that. Sometimes they can't. Sometimes you need someone separate. Okay. You might need radon testing. Again, most home inspectors do radon testing, and they have the equipment to do that. But if not, you can hire someone to do radon testing. Roof inspection. If the home inspector looks at the roof and says, you know what, you may need to get this replaced, or it needs to be replaced right away, or what, I see a leak here or a patch here or whatever, you may need to get a separate roof inspector to look at it. Maybe not. We might be able to negotiate it. Most of the time we can, but sometimes you want a little more information. Okay. If there's mold in the house, okay, if there's visible mold, you may want to have a mold test. And again, that's something that private inspectors usually don't do. Usually you got to hire. Now, I know that unless Uncle Bob is an expert in one of these areas, Uncle Bob's not going to know all of this unless they're a certified home inspector themselves, or maybe there's certain areas that they're experts in. Fine. Uncle Bob, if he's a mold expert, bring him in to do the mold. No problem. But certified home inspectors, have a broad vision, a broad idea of what to look for in houses, and that's their job, is to go in and try to find problems so that you could be aware of them, so that you can either we can have the seller fix them or remedy it or get a credit, or you just decide it's not that big of a deal, but at least I know that I have to take care of that in the future. Okay. Number 3, save yourself money. Now, most of the time when people want to hire or have their relative do their home inspections, because they don't want to spend the $300, $400, $500 to have a private inspection. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, spend the $300, $400, $500 on the private inspection and save $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in the future. When Uncle Bob missed something, an issue with the foundation, or Uncle Bob missed, an issue with the roof, or Uncle Bob missed, that the furnace needed a new motor or something. Obviously that doesn't cost $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, but you get my point. You spend the $300, $400, $500 now and save $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, maybe more later. Okay. Now again, I'm going to preface this by saying home inspectors are not perfect. They do sometimes miss things. Okay, no one's perfect, and they look at sometimes 3, 4, 5 houses a day, and they're extremely busy. And sometimes they do make mistakes. Okay, so sometimes we need clarification, but because of this, most inspectors do carry insurance coverage. They carry some kind of E&O insurance or liability coverage in the event that they do miss something and they do make a mistake. Uncle Bob probably does not have E&O insurance or liability coverage to do an inspection. And so if Uncle Bob misses something, you're on the hook for it, not Uncle Bob. Okay? If the home inspector misses something or something comes up, guess what? They have insurance. And so there's at least some back-end coverage there if something happens, okay? So just to recap, you should not hire your family member to do your home inspection unless they're a certified home inspector, or unless you're having them come in to look at something specific that they are certified in. HVAC, roofing, electrical, plumbing, whatever it is. That's fine. That's different, okay? Number 2, and the reason why is you want to get a professional report from the inspector. An inspector is going to get you a professional report. Number 2, it's not just one inspection. You may need more than one different inspection. Sometimes a private inspector can do the whole array. Sometimes they can refer you out to other people to do it, okay? But you want to have professionals do each thing that they're experts in, okay? And number 3, save yourself money. Spend the money now on the private inspection. Spend the $500 down on the private inspection. Save yourself money down the road, okay? We appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. You can email us, you can text us, you can call us, you can direct message us on Facebook, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Thanks a lot and have a great day.